Wow, I am live. Apparently, I'm live. I'm just going to check things out here. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it looks like I am live. This is my first on my own YouTube testing exercise here. I've just done a podcast, well, a broadcast on Facebook. Yeah, and just typing as well as I'm receiving emails. But hey, I hope everyone is doing well out there. Now it's crazy. So what I'm doing at the moment, let's see if there's anything going to come in here. But what I am doing is that I'm getting prepared to close my Facebook pages down, and really getting things moving on to other platforms. This is just one of the platforms I'm going to be working with, and hopefully it's going to be good because I'm not too sure how this all works just yet. I thought it was like Facebook, but it looks like it's a little bit different. But anyway, all good. And so I'm looking forward to it. I've been increasingly shadow banned and restricted on Facebook, so it's just not worth staying there anymore. I've got on my Facebook pages, I've got about, between the two of them, 527, 32,500 followers, but I used to have 78,000, but not anymore. I've got 32,500 thereabouts. Anyway, I just wanted to go and do a quick test and see if this is going to work for me, and hopefully it will, because I think YouTube is probably the place to do these types of things from now on, because it seems like YouTube has, I know, gone through a bit of a metamorphosis process over the last few months, because a few months ago I posted one of our River of Lies, the New Zealand Scandemic investigative documentary trailers, and it got taken down, and I appealed and said, hey, why are you taking this down? We're not saying anything that's conspiratorial, etc., etc. So I appealed it, and lo and behold, they put it back up, which was pretty amazing. And this all comes down to, as well as to big tech influence and censorship in New Zealand. It's my view as a New Zealander is that there's no way that foreign big tech companies should have any capability to be able to control New Zealand's village square. It's impossible. It should not be happening, but it is happening, and it's got to stop. It's got to end, and it's up to you guys as well to help communicate to people in these big tech companies. Like, we've got Meta in New Zealand, we've got Google, we've got Twitter here in New Zealand, and all of them have been participants in government covert operations to censor us. Now, what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks is the fact that the New Zealand government has been caught red-handed with backdoor access to both Facebook and to Twitter. Now, I've got the Official Information Act documentation that tells us, with the response from the government saying, yes, you've caught us. The Department of Internal Affairs has had a backdoor entrance into the takedown portal for Facebook and also Twitter, and that's the recent one. A good friend of mine, Dr. Carlton Brown, he provided me his documents yesterday from an Official Information Act request of the government to basically say, hey, I want to know if you guys have got a takedown portal for Twitter, because you guys have been found out to have been guilty in having a takedown portal access for Facebook. Have you got one for Twitter? The reply was, of course, begrudgingly from the Department of Internal Affairs, that yes, indeed, they've been caught out. Yes, indeed, they did have a what they call, is it called, a partner access program, which really is another fancy word, and they say this brackets takedown portal for Twitter. So this is going to be really, really, really important that that we New Zealanders speak up and stand up against this. Now, as I get better at being able to use live YouTube, I'm going to be able to do better shows and do better presentations and all sorts of things. I'm already getting a bit of appreciation of how things are going to work. And I think it's going to be very, very good. Now, friends of mine like Vinny Eastwood has been working with YouTube for a long, long time. So somehow I've got to get all the thousands of people that are on my Facebook pages that I'm having trouble reaching on Facebook. I've got to figure out a way of getting them transitioned over here. And when I say transition, I don't mean take a pill or go for an operation. I mean literally just going from Facebook to here to YouTube on my channel here. So much to talk about. I've just been talking for the last couple of hours on Facebook with the Magic Dicol Health and Your Wellbeing podcast and show with Caroline Mansfield. It went very well. It was awesome. And but we've got lots of different products now that we want to get up there, such as the Magic Dicol Last Day Events News. We're going to have the Sunday Roast and all these types of things as well. So please, if you can, spread the word that I'm going to be doing that here, because it's going to take me a little while, I think, and I need to do it as quickly as I can to get people to transition to being here on YouTube from Facebook and getting everyone over here. And the thing I like about this too is that it looks like there's a good facility here for me to be able to watch and interact as I'm looking here to interact with people as they make comments. What else have we got here? I'm just trying to I'm just going to put the message in. Please feel free to test the chat. But I think what I did was a bit, saying that somehow I set it on subscribers only mode. It should have been everyone should be allowed to comment. Sorry about that, guys. Just put that in. I wonder if I can change that while I'm live. Nope. Let's, or can I do that? Let's just see comments. I'm doing this as I'm speaking here, guys. I don't know what I've done, whether I've turned this off or what have you. Comments, is there comments? Allow all comments. There you go. Let's see if that's going to work. It looks like it may. I've got 6 people watching, and I've just said, let's see if that works. I'm just going to do that live chat. I did change it, and it doesn't look like it's changed anything. All right, done it, because I would like to have had a chat with some of you if you were live and up to it. But anyway, if you could please spread the word that I will be deleting my Facebook page, Billy Kahika Official, fairly soon. So I'd appreciate your help with that. All right, family, more than anything, as we see these things happen, things are ramping up. If you feel like they're speeding up, it's because they are. This plan for global tyranny that the New Zealand government is up to its eyebrows in is not slowing down. As Klaus Schwab warned us, it's never going to go back to normal. It's never going to go back to the way it was. But where they want to take us is part of a demonic cosmic plan that they have had in play for a long, long time, way before you and I were born. So it's about now how we confront the issues. It's now about how we work together to help each other, because we are dealing with a complete, total onslaught of tyranny in New Zealand. And if you thought that New Zealand, was the land of good people and onto it people, problem-solving people, critical thinking people, the land of the fair shake, the land of the fair go, it's not. It truly isn't. And one of the things that I want to share with people as much as I can is to let them know this is not a left or right issue. This is not a left and right issue. This is something that was created by the powers that be to confuse people, to think that because you don't agree with me, you must be my enemy. It's a true and tried strategy for a long, long time. It's been going for a long, long time. So we need to overcome that, because last night I did a show on Facebook last night, and I talked about Antifa in New Zealand, and I went to one of the pages of an Antifa group in New Zealand, and it was funny because I've come to the conclusion that New Zealand anti-fascists actually don't know what fascism really is. They don't understand the definition of it, the definition of the actual structure of fascism. They don't understand it. They're either incredibly stupid, or they are paid to be this way. And I think there's probably some of that in there. for sure, because I believe it was Antifa that turned up on the last day at the Wellington protest that caused the violence. I don't believe that was orchestrated by people from outside. I don't believe that for a second. But I was talking about Antifa last night. What do they stand for? Anti-racism. Well, I'm against racism. I'm against Nazis. Yes, I've been studying the Nazis for years. The Third Reich. I'm totally against them. They support resistance fighters against fascism. The ones that were executed during the war, of course, I pay tribute to them. What else? I don't like losing freedom, so I can share that with them. What else was there? There was a couple of things that they said last night, that I covered in their list of things that I completely concur with. Do I want to harm Islamic people? Not in your life. Do I want to harm the LGBTQ trans community? No. But what I do want to stop, what I do want to stop, is the fact that they're sexualizing our children with an ideology, which is not right for heterosexual people, and it's certainly not right for LGBTQ plus trans people either. And that's not because I'm a bigot. It's because I think little kids should have an opportunity to be little kids and grow up. So really, Antifa have it wrong, because what they're against is the idea of people losing their rights. So coming from the leftist point of view. But this is the problem. Fascism, by its definition, is when you have the state that integrates its goals and intent with the strong arm of corporate power, like this, where they integrate. And what happens on some level, the state power ends up compromising the public it's meant to serve to offer more benefit to the corporate power, so that the corporate power will do the bidding of the state. And when the two integrate like that, that's fascism in its purest sense. So what are some examples of that? Well, a quick example is Big Pharma. Big Pharma working with the New Zealand government in this instance to increase the uptake of the sale of its products into the New Zealand government from a revenue point of view. But on the other hand, you've got at a higher level in the government, in the New Zealand government, and it's been proven all around the world now, you've got players within the New Zealand government that have an ideology that they are wanting to roll out, and the corporate power gives them a vehicle and a mechanism for which to discharge this goal and this intent. Now, what we've seen, of course, in the last 3 years is that the governments and Big Pharma, the military or the industrialized medical sector, have been working like this to control people together. And that is fascism in its purity. Now, what's another example of this? Well, let's look at Microsoft wanting to do Project ID 2020. Now, that's an invasion of personal privacy and personal sovereignty. But what's happening is, of course, Project ID 2020 is being ensconced into governments all around the world, and the government is picking up on that, and the New Zealand government has picked up on it and is partnering with Project ID 2020 to bring about probably central bank digital currencies, to implement, to work in parallel with the financial systems. You've got them probably wanting to use it for travel, vaccine passports, and of course, emissions and carbon footprint track and tracing of private citizens in New Zealand. Now, that there is another example of where you have the state ideology integrated with the goals and intent and the corporate arm, the corporate strength of corporatism, of the corporate world together, and that's integrated together like that. So it's almost seamless, and that's what we're seeing now, and that is fascism. That is fascism. I'm against that, totally against that. I'm against Nazis, I'm against communism, and yet the same people that are involved in the Antifa movement are mistakenly calling people like me a fascist. It couldn't be further from the truth of the definition of what fascism is. Now, fascism had its roots in old school Catholicism, and in fact, it's still in Catholicism. Now, my own personal family, the Māori word for family is whānau, Catholic, so this is not about having a go at Catholic people. It's the system that we want to talk about here. And so what you have is that you have the roots of fascism in Catholicism, and in fact, both Hitler and Himmler said that the structure of the Nazi Party had been based on the principles of the Jesuit order, which is of course an order within the Catholic Church, which became a formal order in 1540. And the two founders of that, of course, were Ignatius of Loyola and Francis Xavier. And both of them were very, very sick individuals. And then later on, of course, when they lost their Catholicism in 1798, lost its grip on most of its grip on secular authority, and it became a religious power only, and lost its secular strength that it did have. That's a biblical prophecy, by the way. And then they started to work on communistic principles, and where they started to insinuate the idea of socialism into Catholic theology and strategies to recruit more people into Catholicism. Now, again, my own whānau, my own family are Catholic. I'm not even going at Catholic people. There are some beautiful Christian people in Catholicism. The system itself is wrong. It's anti-biblical, but this is not about the people. It's about the system. The ones very high up at the top, they know what's going on. But anyway, I'm starting to do a bit of a sermon here, and that's not my intent. I just wanted to do a bit of a test to see if this would work, and it looks like it has. Oh, there we go. We've got some comments here. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Can believe divide and conquer. Exactly. Exactly. Teddy is saying, please don't delete Facebook. We all know how awful it is, but frankly, I can't be bothered going on other platforms, and I get your live notifications. Thanks, Teddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's some good feedback. The problem is I'm finding with Facebook is that I'm just not getting reach to people. Even dear friends of mine who follow me, very, very closely, can't find me, or they can't get onto my page when they know that I'm broadcasting. So unfortunately, I think this is probably going to be the best place to be. Shelley the Kiwi. Hi, Shelley the Kiwi. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Look at that. This is really quite cool. Wow, that's how it works. I get to see your comments right there. And this is really encouraging. Now to all of you, these 8 of us, these 9 of us, including me. Well, it's only from tiny beginnings. Please hit the share button when you get this out. Don't forget to support the River of Lights. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, can you please do that for me? Because I'm not far away from hitting a couple of thousand people. And if you could also look at trailer number 2 and help me get over the 10,000 people mark. I'm only 64 people away from hitting the 10,000 mark. And once I get that, some extra privileges happen with the channel. So if you can help me with that, that would be really awesome. All right, family, I'm going to leave it at that. I know that you're probably tired. I certainly am. And I can hear my kids still playing at 11 minutes past 11, so I better go and sort them out. But yeah, thank you, Teddy, for your feedback. Shelley, have a good night. Teresa, yeah, that's right. Teresa saying, I can't ever find you on Facebook. Yeah, that's my point, Teresa. Thanks for pointing that out. And that's why I've got to go, because I've got some really good work. I've got some great shows coming up and things I want to do, and I'm being restricted more and more and more on Facebook. So if you could help people know that I'll be coming over here, that would be good. And if you could also please, dear friends, subscribe, share this channel out, that would be really greatly appreciated. All right, family, thank you so much for your time. Have a good sleep, everybody, and I will see you here again very soon. God bless you all. Pomari.